All right. I was going to react to Sixers rookie VJ Edgecombe talks offseason work, season ahead, throws out the first pitch at a Phillies game. And then I saw this headline. Projected Sixers starting lineup receives middle of the league ranking. And then Bleacher Report hits the Sixers with low grade and offensive ranking. Let's read this really quick because I have a feeling I'm going to have to set everybody straight again. And some people that see certain videos of mine and not other videos of mine, you know, they might form an opinion or try to see how I feel about certain things. Like if I get mad at Joel Embiid for an annoying 4-hour-long ESPN article full of excuses that I'm an Embiid hater, or if I make videos saying I don't care about your personal life, I want to know if you're going to get on the court or not, I'm an Embiid hater. But I also have another side when it comes to Joel Embiid. I've been defending him for years and years and years. For those that really, you know, follow my stuff and know my actual opinion on everything. Anyway, let's read this. Projected Sixers starting lineup receives middle of the league ranking. Sixers Wire. Let's check it out. If healthy. There's no way! That's the first fucking line in the article, bro. There's no way! Get this phrase out of my life! Get this phrase out of my life! If healthy. Bro, the writer actually sat down and the first word they typed on the keyboard was if healthy. Oh my God, bro. All right, we got to get through it. We got to get through it. If healthy, the Philadelphia 76ers should be able to boast one of the stronger starting lineups in the league. The trio of Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey should be enough to lift the Sixers back into playoffs after a brief detour into the woods in 24-25. The big question is based on that if part. Embiid recovering from knee surgery. Paul George had another knee surgery. They're both 47,000 years old because they're aging in dog years. Bleacher Report ranked every team's starting lineup, and the Sixers came in at number 14 with Jared McCain and Kelly Oubre flanking the big three. Jared McCain and Kelly Oubre flanking the big three? What the fuck does that mean? Their projected starting five registered just total of 23 possessions last season. Okay. Okay, where's the actual... All right. Where's the actual list? There's no good power forward option on the roster. That's a fact. Their projected starting five registered just 20. Okay. I'm going to go get the actual Bleacher Report list, but I want to say this. How is everybody forgetting how good and how impactful Joel Embiid is when he's healthy? The only way you could rank the 76ers starting lineup at number 14 in the league is if Joel Embiid is not healthy. I've said this a billion times, and I don't think he's going to be healthy. I don't think he is healthy. I have a hard time imagining him getting back to what he used to be. But if you're going to use the term if healthy, he's the best player in the NBA. We're talking dominant historically, offensively, and dominant defensively. We're talking unanimous MVP. We're talking should have had 2 out of the 3 MVPs the 3 years in a row when Jokic won it back to back. We're talking one of the greatest, most dominant talents we've ever seen in the NBA, if healthy. So don't use the word if healthy if you're going to rank him number 14. Because all you're saying by putting them at 14 is that you don't think Joel Embiid is going to be healthy. This is a guy that his rookie season in the NBA took TJ McConnell, Luke Bahamute, and Robert Covington to a 12-5 record in January before he got injured again and would presumably get injured again and again and again throughout his career. But my point being, he's so good, he had to process Sixers well over 500 for an entire month. That's how much he changes the game when he's healthy. So you just can't say if healthy and then put him at 14. You can't do that. Let's find the Bleacher Report list here. Let's see if this article has the actual list. All right, we're going to have to go Bleacher Report ranking NBA teams. Is that what we're doing here? Power ranking every NBA team by starting lineups. There it is. We found it. I have a lot of like anger and energy right now. And I was just listening to Falling in Reverse. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to Falling in Reverse, but they're playing at Hershey Park Stadium on September 7th, and I'm going there, and I've been listening to their music. I started listening to them when I heard a Tech 9 collaboration. I'm going way off topic, but their music is like, duh! And so that's kind of hyping. I think that's kind of hyping my reactions right now. Let's see the rankings here, bro. Projected, who we got? Number 30, Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are 30. Michael Porter Jr. has been doing an embarrassing podcast run this offseason. Get the Brooklyn Nets out of here. Utah Jazz, 29. Not true. Going to be better than that. Ace Bailey's a stud. Ace Bailey's a stud. Utah Jazz are going to be better. It's bro. I can't wait for Ace Bailey to be an absolute fucking stud and for everybody to be like, wow, DJ Eastwood was right the whole time. 28, Washington Wizards. They should be 30. They should be 50th actually out of 30. They're never going to be good. They're terrible. Get them out of here. 27, Chicago Bulls, one of the worst run franchises in the history of the NBA. But I don't think they're going to be 27th, man. I think the synergy they're building with the Pedo at point guard and some of these guys coming around, I don't think they're going to be 27. Charlotte Hornets, they should be 50th out of 30. They're horrible. They're never going to be good. LaMelo Ball just does not play winning basketball. He's out there hooping like he's got a backpack and AirPods in. He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't make players around him better. The Hornets are terrible. They're never going to be good. Portland Trailblazers are just in a situation where they're trying to tank it out, taking on bad contracts. Drew Holiday, I feel bad for him. How do you go from winning championships to being in Portland and you know they're not trying to win anytime soon? Free my guy Drew. Sacramento Kings, one of the worst franchises ever run. Rumor had it they want to sign Russell Westbrook on top of having the Chicago Bulls sloppy seconds in Zach LaVine and and DeMar DeRozan. The Sacramento Kings are absolutely horrendous. Milwaukee Bucks, the Damian Lillard injury. Doc Rivers is a horrendous coach. They got to trade Giannis. He's about to turn 30, or he already turned 30. They got to sell high. They're not going to do that because franchises get so attached to a player that sells tickets, much like the 76ers refusing to trade Joel Embiid probably when they should have. The Bucks aren't going to trade Giannis when they should because ownership's not going to want to take that hit. They're going to try to make as much money as they can. They're going to trade him way too late and then probably sell the franchise. The Phoenix Suns, one of the worst franchises run in the last 10 years. Well, not the last 10 years. They just went to the NBA Finals a couple of years ago, but the Kevin Durant trade just decimated that team. And then trading for Bradley Beal. I mean, now they got, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. I mean, what are they really doing over there? Toronto Raptors at 20, up and coming. We're gonna see if Scotty Barnes takes the next leadership leap for the Toronto Raptors. I think this Scotty Barnes is a phenomenal prospect, but it's the clock is ticking. the Raptors kind of wanted to go all in around Scotty Barnes, and it's time for Scotty Barnes to elevate the Toronto Raptors a little bit. So 20 Toronto Raptors. Miami Heat suck. They suck, dude. They suck. Heat Nation, Heat culture, all this shit. They suck. I'm never believing the Miami Heat. If it wasn't for Jimmy Butler dragging you guys to the finals, you wouldn't have had anything to talk about since you had Dwayne Wade on the team and LeBron James on the team. The Miami Heat have been overrated for a long, long time. I never believe in the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero can't guard my 10-year-old. Too many guys that can't play defense on this team. Remember when Duncan Robinson was on a $90 million contract and was benched all the way up until the NBA Finals until Tyler Hero broke his hand because you can't play them both at the same time because neither of them can defend anybody. Okay, let's keep moving here. Dallas Mavericks, they're going to be a lot better than 18 because Cooper Flagg is very, very good. And I think Cooper Flagg might be the first rookie all-star since Blake Griffin in 2009. They're going to be good. I think they're going to be good, man. I think they're going to be good. I'm going higher than 18. Boston Celtics are not going to be 17. The Boston Celtics are probably going to be about 28th. Jaylen Brown is about to get exposed as the most overpaid player in the history of the NBA. And the Celtics' moves after Jason Tatum's injuries should solidify how the Celtics feel about Jaylen Brown. He's not a superstar player. He is a very, very good 3-and-D role player. He's not going to lead the Boston Celtics anywhere, and they are not going to be 17. They're going to be 27th. Indiana Pacers, terrible rating by Bleacher Report. Well, actually, I forgot about the Tyrese Halliburton injury, man. I forgot about the Tyrese Halliburton injury. Damn. 16 is actually too high. If Halliburton's not there, you know, I love Andrew Nembhard. I love Neesmith. I love what Siakam brought to the team 2 years after the trade. You can't go 16 Indiana Pacers. Detroit Pistons, I'm going higher. I'm going higher on the Detroit Pistons. I think what Cade Cunningham is doing as a point forward is absolutely incredible. I call him a point forward because of his size, but he's really just a point guard. I think it's incredible. I think that Cade Cunningham is about to lift the Detroit Pistons to another level after surprising everybody last season. And us 76ers fans are going to have to watch Tobias Harris win in the playoffs. That's going to happen. And we're going to be looking at the Paul George Tobias Harris thing again. But I got the Pistons higher than that. Now, if healthy, the Philadelphia 76ers. It just doesn't make sense to me. If healthy, they're top 5. The only way you can put them at 14 is if you don't believe they're healthy. So if Bleacher Report is saying we don't believe the 76ers are going to be healthy, then I got the Sixers at probably 24. If they're healthy, they're top 5. If they're not healthy, they're 24th. They're not. It doesn't make the roster is still built around Joel Embiid. This team cannot function if Joel Embiid is not healthy. Because without Joel Embiid, just like last season, it's a total random assortment of guys. And you got guys like Kelly Oubre trying to step up and be a lead scorer, and he's shooting the ball 25 times a game, and let's be serious, it's Kelly Oubre. You know? It just doesn't really make any sense. There's not enough wings. There's not enough power forwards. If Joel Embiid and Paul George are not healthy, this team is 25. If they are healthy, they're top 5. There's no in between. There's no way you can put them in the middle of the pack. It doesn't really make sense to me. And I think this year is going to be a transition year. I think it's going to be a year where everybody finally realizes these two guys, this is over. It's time to restructure everything and make Tyrese Maxey the number 1 option. And you're going to have to fire Daryl Morey. You're going to have to fire Nick Nurse. You're going to have to start the whole thing over because it's just where's the meme of the Gucci book bag that's ripping apart, bro? Bro's hanging on by a thread. That's what the 76ers are doing. They're either top 5 or they're 25th. There's no in between. Spurs, Hawks. How are we putting the Hawks up there, bro? I never believe in the Hawks. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't think Trae Young can really take a team anywhere again because of the way that he plays, getting less calls now than he used to with his flopping antics, leaning into defenders, baiting defenders, on top of the fact that he can't guard anybody on the other end. I never believe in a Trae Young led team. I think he's a Walmart Steph Curry, not even Walmart really, like Aldi Steph Curry or like Dollar General Steph Curry. But anyway, Wolves 11, Lakers 10. I don't believe the Lakers are 10. I don't think they did anything to fix their defensive issues. These are three. The fact that you put three bad defenders in the photo should tell you why. I don't think the Lakers are top 10. I think LeBron James is 1 year away from retirement. I'm not even sure why they didn't trade him yet. Just signing DeAndre Ayton did not fix their center situation. DeAndre Ayton is terrible. His effort is terrible. His defense is terrible. DeAndre Ayton's about to get exposed again for those that don't know about how bad DeAndre Ayton really is. The Lakers are not top 10. Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. If Ja stops getting injured, if Ja stops pulling guns out on Instagram, if Ja, like the Sixers are if healthy, the Grizzlies are if Ja. I agree with that. New York Knicks, number 8. I guess you got to go there. Maybe year 2 with the Karl-Anthony Towns situation, they figure out, a way to play playoff defense. I think Towns is bad defensively. I think Jalen Brunson is bad defensively, and it's tough having both of them on the court at the same time in the playoffs. Defensively, maybe they figure out how to put the right guys around those two to hide those defensive deficiencies. They did fire their coach. I can't believe they fired their coach before the Sixers fired theirs, but they did. So we'll see how different that team looks with a new head coach there. But New York Knicks, number 8. Orlando Magic. I like this one. And this is another if healthy, because who's the dude tore his ACL last year in Orlando, and then Paolo and Wagner both had an oblique, both tore their abdomen, which is insane. If healthy, the Orlando Magic have a really good roster, and I believe in them being number 7. But they've been just injured every year. Jalen Suggs is the one that tore his ACL last year. And then Paolo went out with the oblique injury, and then Franz Wagner went out with the oblique injury. If healthy, I agree with that. Golden State Warriors, I agree with that. I think Steph's got a couple left in the tank. I think year 2 of the Jimmy Butler Warriors team, they're all getting close to the downside of their careers. But I have no choice but to believe in Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry for at least 2 more seasons, if healthy. But Golden State Warriors, number 6. Clippers, number 5. No. You witnessed it again last season. A team led by point guard James Harden in the playoffs is cooked. You witnessed it again last season. And Kawhi Leonard stayed healthy, and they still couldn't get it done. And now you add Bradley Beal, and I'm supposed to believe they're a top 5 team? No. Houston Rockets, yes. I think they built an incredible young core. They were the best defense in the league, a top 5 defense in the league 2 years in a row. Adding Kevin Durant in place of Jalen Green takes them absolutely to the next level, because let's call it what it is. Jalen Green was their biggest kryptonite in the playoffs last season. The dude absolutely dropped the ball and sucked. Yes, I believe in the Houston Rockets. I'm always going to believe in the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think it's time for Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to get over the hump. I believe in the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Evan Mobley taking another leap as I think it was a first-time All-Star this season. I believe in Evan Mobley. I believe in Darius Garland. I believe in Donovan Mitchell. I think Jared Allen. I believe in the Cavs. I believe in the Cavs. Denver Nuggets number 2. Denver Nuggets number 2. I mean, every year you have a healthy Nikola Jokic, you're a contender, which is why I picked the Nuggets to go to the finals last season. And that did not happen. They lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but it was people had them losing in the first round or something because of how weak their roster appeared to be at the time. And I was like, bro, Jokic can. I mean, Jokic almost beat the USA team with Serbia. Name another player on the Serbian team. He almost beat USA with non-NBA players. That's how impactful he is. So I got to ride with the Denver Nuggets at number 2. I don't know if Cam Johnson in place of MPJ changes the team that much. But Jamal Murray was really up and down last year too, and you haven't really seen Jamal Murray get back to that Jamal Murray when they won the title yet. So we'll see, but I got to ride with them at number 2, and then of course Oklahoma City Thunder at number 1, and they are one of the youngest teams in the league. Sam Presti fleeced everybody. They're probably gonna win 3 of the next 5, dude. If they can, unless the CBA, unless the second apron and all that shit, ruins their ability to pay everybody. But I gotta agree with that. But the Sixers at 14 is absolutely ridiculous. There's no in between. The Sixers are either top 5 or they're bottom 5. No in between. I'm out.